This 2-year-old girl dead at the hands of her mother's boyfriend. And weeks before her death, a child abuse tip was called in, but an investigation never happened.
And tonight her mother is asking if her death could have been prevented. Channel 11's Gabriella DeLuca uncovered that since her death, major policy changes have been made within the county police.
Flower. Alligator. Brielle was like my little mini-me, my own self. She was amazing, beautiful and smart. She's just not here, and she should be.
Brielle Swinton should be turning 5 years old, a milestone her mom, Javonne Swinton, wishes she could celebrate with her daughter.
It sucks. I can't ever get her ready for school or put her on the bus or, get her ready, like I said, for those first moments.
2 years ago, her daughter was murdered, squeezed to death by Javonne's boyfriend, Morgan, who was sentenced to 40 years in prison. During Morgan's trial, a doctor testified that he made a child line tip reporting suspected abuse of Brielle. According to testimony during the trial, county police never investigated that child line tip. Weeks later, Brielle was dead.
Do you feel that someone dropped the ball?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Because I was the first one to put it into the light that something happened to my daughter and nothing was done about it.
Multiple sources tell 11 Investigates that the child line tip in Brielle's case was sent to Allegheny County Police, but no one physically checked on her. Now, according to those same sources, there's a new standard operating procedure for Allegheny County Police, and it's a direct result of Brielle's case. When Allegheny County Police receive a child line tip moving forward, detectives are now required to physically check on the child and put eyes on them.
I was just shocked. I mean, that's their job, to protect the children and the youth and families from situations like this. I feel like they definitely failed.
Channel 11 asked county police about the new standard operating procedure. A spokesperson said in part, "While there has been no direct change to our standard operating procedures as a result of this investigation, as a law enforcement agency, we consistently review and evaluate our policies and procedures to best serve the community." We started digging into other recent child deaths and combed through court paperwork. We uncovered that the Office of Children, Youth, and Families was involved in at least 3 cases in which a child ended up dead. 1-year-old Thomas Humphreys, 2-year-old Robert Kraft, and 6-year-old DM McMunn Garashensky all died after ingesting drugs. It's unclear in all of those cases if county police was asked to investigate. Here's how the Pennsylvania child line process is supposed to work. Someone suspects abuse and calls the child line toll-free number, which is run by the State Department of Human Services. From there, intake call center caseworkers vet the tip and determine if it warrants an investigation. If there are suspected criminal allegations in Allegheny County, county police or another department investigates. If detectives within the department determine there's a crime that's been committed, the case is then turned over to the district attorney's office.
It's a fight. It's an ongoing fight.
We took Brielle's case and the other recent child deaths we found in Allegheny County to District Attorney Stephen Zappala.
We're looking into each one of those matters to see how it was handled. I'm a parent, and that's the last thing I want to hear.
Now, a grieving mother, Javonne, says if county police had properly investigated the child line tip, there's a chance Brielle could still be here.
Strawberry baby. It could have saved her life. It could have saved any other kid's life who had to go through this.
We have asked county police and the Department of Human Services for an interview to discuss this case and their policies. We were told by a spokesperson that neither agency is at liberty to discuss individual cases or answer questions related to cases they've investigated. Gabriella DeLuca, Channel 11 News.